As global tensions escalate and conflicts brew around the world, many people are asking, where would be the safest place to survive if World War III began? While some might look to the African continent for refuge, not all nations are created equal when it comes to security and stability during a global crisis. West Africa, a region rich in culture and history, has some countries that are safer than others, but there are also nations you'd want to avoid entirely. In today's video, we'll take you through 5 countries in West Africa, starting with the safest option and working our way to the least safe. Make sure you stick with us until the end, because the final country on this list is a place you absolutely wouldn't want to be if World War III erupted. Let's dive in. Starting off our countdown is Guinea, a nation on the Atlantic coast, known for its rich natural resources and scenic landscapes. Guinea has largely avoided the large-scale insurgencies plaguing its neighbors in recent years. What makes Guinea stand out is its geographical position. Located far from the Sahel's most dangerous conflict zones, Guinea enjoys a degree of separation from the violence that has destabilized many West African nations. Moreover, its bauxite and gold reserves give it an economic advantage that could help sustain its population during global turmoil. However, the country isn't without risks. Guinea experienced a military coup in 2021, which replaced its civilian government with a military-led administration. While the country remains relatively calm today, political protests can flare up unexpectedly, and its healthcare infrastructure is weak, a reminder of the devastating Ebola outbreak it endured in the 2010s. For those seeking a relatively safer refuge in West Africa, Guinea is one of the better options, but it's far from perfect. Number 4. Niger. A country that occupies a strategic position in West Africa. Sitting at the crossroads of North and Sub-Saharan Africa, Niger has largely managed to remain functional despite being surrounded by instability. Niger is heavily reliant on agriculture, and its population demonstrates resilience in the face of challenges. However, the country's proximity to conflict zones in Mali, Nigeria, and Burkina Faso is a major drawback. Over the years, Niger has faced growing threats from terrorist groups like Boko Haram and ISWAP, Islamic State in West Africa Province, which operate near its borders. Additionally, Niger's poverty is among the highest in the world, leaving it ill-equipped to deal with the pressures of a global war. While it remains safer than the countries lower on this list, it's a fragile refuge. Number 3. Mali. Mali, once the heart of the mighty Mali Empire, has seen its fair share of turmoil in modern times. In recent years, the country has been engulfed in violent insurgencies, particularly in the northern and central regions. Since 2012, Mali has been a hotbed of separatist and Islamist activity, with groups like Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, AQIM, and the Islamic State causing widespread instability. The situation has displaced millions of people and created a humanitarian crisis. On top of this, political instability has plagued Mali, with 2 coups in less than a year between 2020 and 2021. The government has struggled to regain control over large parts of the country, which are effectively lawless. Mali's beautiful deserts and historical sites may hold allure, but the nation's current state of insecurity makes it a dangerous option in a global crisis. Number 2. Burkina Faso. As we move closer to the least safe country on our list, we come to Burkina Faso, a landlocked nation battling severe challenges on multiple fronts. Over the past decade, Burkina Faso has become a focal point for violence, with armed groups controlling large portions of its territory. Since 2015, the rise of Islamist extremism has pushed the country into turmoil, with terrorist groups targeting civilians, schools, and government officials. The violence has displaced more than 2 million people, creating a humanitarian disaster. To make matters worse, Burkina Faso has faced political instability, including 2 coups in 2022 alone. This has left the nation's government weak and unable to provide adequate protection to its people. While the Burkinabe people are known for their resilience and strong community ties, the reality on the ground is grim. Widespread poverty, weak governance, and rampant violence make this one of the most dangerous countries in West Africa. Number 1, the most dangerous country on our list, Nigeria. Finally, we arrive at Nigeria, the giant of Africa. Despite its economic strength and immense cultural influence, Nigeria is by far the least safe country on this list, and for good reason. Nigeria has faced a relentless insurgency in its northeastern region for over a decade. Boko Haram and ISWAP, Islamic State in West Africa Province, have carried out devastating attacks, killing thousands and displacing millions. Entire communities in the northeast live in fear, and the government's efforts to combat these groups have been met with limited success. But the challenges in Nigeria aren't limited to terrorism. Ethnic and religious tensions in the country's central region have fueled deadly clashes between farmers and herders. Corruption, weak governance, and widespread poverty add to the nation's woes, creating a volatile environment that could spiral further out of control during a global war. To make matters worse, Nigeria's population of over 200 million people makes it difficult to manage resources and security. In the event of World War III, Nigeria would likely face heightened instability, making it a place you'd want to avoid at all costs. West Africa is a region of incredible diversity, but it's clear that safety varies greatly from one country to another. While Guinea and Niger offer some degree of refuge, nations like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Nigeria present significant risks that make them unsafe choices during a global crisis. If you're considering your options in West Africa, it's crucial to stay informed about the latest developments in these countries. The situation in this region can change rapidly, and preparation is key. What do you think about our list? Were you surprised by any of these rankings? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.